You know, one of the top comments, by the way, and I'm actually just seeing this for the first time. Somebody says, I bet Sony and Naughty Dog are looking real stupid right now seeing Arc Raiders' success. That could have been The Last of Us Online.
It could have been Concord. Should I say it? It could have been Marathon. Ain't that an extraction shooter? Let's just be honest, man. Ever since SOCOM, Navy SEALs, for some reason, PlayStation just doesn't dominate in multiplayer. You ponies know it. That's why you want these single-player story narrative-driven games. You know, essentially the game playing it for you. You know, besides interacting with a few things. What are you talking about, man? It would have flopped. Sony did everything right by canceling that game. Because you know why? Because if that's what you want, that means Last of Us multiplayer would have also popped up on Xbox. Because that's the only way as to how PlayStation multiplayer games are ever going to remotely be successful. And even when you do, guess what? Nobody wants them.
Before we talk about
It's gotten to the point where Nintendo has far more exclusive multiplayer offerings than PlayStation now. That is embarrassing.
Single player game. Can we talk about that for a moment? Do we agree? Do we think that there's some level of regret?
No. You know, Sony canceled the game at the right time because you know why? They knew there weren't going to be enough people to play the game. They couldn't find ways to, you know, put microtransactions. Oh, buy some dirty old socks for your character. Because, I mean, let's be honest, it's Last of Us. Unless they want to make the game look more colorful like all these other microtransactional games. I mean, at the end of the day, it would have flopped, man. I'm not saying it would have been good. They probably would have kept it with a traditional multiplayer similar to Gears of War and then have you buy skins. And I don't think people would have went for it. You know, matter of fact, Last of Us got most of its sales from being a single player game. So Sony probably figured, well, if we had a multiplayer component, it wouldn't really make that much of a difference. That's why Sony decided to cancel the game.
I've heard quite a few people talk about Arc Raiders in the sense of it's similar to some level.
What?
On some level, similar to The Last of Us, like
it ain't similar at all, bro. What are you talking about? If anything, Last of Us reminds me more of Gears of War. I mean, even though the cover's a little different, but it reminds me more of Gears of War than it does Arc Raiders. Is Last of Us open world? You know what, man? Bro, you know what it reminds me of? Marathon, which is their upcoming failure. Because that's an extraction shooter.
It shares some similarities.
Like what?
Are people now beginning to realize that I was right? I'm not bragging. This is nothing to brag about. I don't want to be right about this. It just depresses me. But it's like, who was sitting here for like the last 3 years crying? I mean, I cry about a lot of things. But what? I mean, who was sitting here for the last 3 years?
He cried about a lot of things, Jimmy. He cried. No wonder his cat's sleeping on him, you know. I'm just sorry, guys. I don't want to admit that Microsoft and Nintendo got far more multiplayer games than we did, man. Last of Us could have been our Arc Raiders, you know. Which also would mean they would have had to drop it on Xbox like they did Helldivers 2 on PC because that's how the only way we're going to get money for our multiplayer games. But we couldn't drop it exclusivity. You know, I'm crying on a lot of things. It's me, MBG.
It's really crying about.
Wow.
You know, The Last of Us multiplayer game canceled.
Bro, you was crying?
This guy right here. And
this man was crying because that game got canceled. You see what you're doing to these ponies? Come on, Sony. You can do it, man. Give us what we want. We want a Bloodborne remaster or remake or something. Just throw a 60 FPS update through our PS5, bro. Please, Sony. You know, we out here looking foolish for you, talking about how Xbox is dead, but we out here playing Xbox games instead.
One of the biggest reasons I said, you know, Sony, I think, and Naughty Dog really messed up here is because this would be big. This would be the next big thing.
Because at the end of the day, when Last of Us came out with their multiplayer, which I thought was actually pretty good, it still didn't do anything. Because you got to go back to the predecessor. You got to go back and look at that game and see, okay, did that gravitate people to the PlayStation platform for Last of Us multiplayer for the first game, which was really good? It didn't. Say whatever you want about Gears of War and having its niche audience, but Gears of War was popular based off that multiplayer that was added in. That's why we still got Gears of War games coming out. But PlayStation, that's what I'm telling you. You had Killzone 2 and 3, which was phenomenal. Nobody bought them. Warhawk, Starhawk, Twisted Metal. I mean, PlayStation focused on a lot of multiplayer games during the PS3, and it did not gravitate people towards the platform. It just didn't. You know what I mean? That's where PlayStation lost a lot of money. But that's the PlayStation that I miss, because that showed me that PlayStation actually did remotely care about their audience and the entertainment and enjoyment that you got out of their platforms. Now you fast forward to 2025, and the best thing on PlayStation is playing third-party and Xbox games coming at some time. That's the best thing, which to me is not what PlayStation represents. And I feel like if that's what you guys see in PS5, of it just becoming another Xbox Series P, well then, by all means, I don't want a PlayStation 6.
Guaranteed. I really believed in it. And formerly Capcom lawyer with another super chat. Thank you, buddy. He says, IP like Wolverine should be doing 30 to 40 million sales. Well, what makes you say that, Capcom lawyer?
I mean, Spider-Man didn't even do that. You know what I mean? I mean, he's looking at the grand scheme of the platforms. You guys say, he's going based off this. You guys say that people buy the PS5 for exclusives. So he's essentially saying, well, if that is the case, then essentially 50%, right? Because they say it's at 84 million shipped, but we'll just play for the argument. 40 million of those PS5 owners should be picking up over Wolverine. I mean, in a world of what PlayStation would want it, that's how PlayStation would want it. But unfortunately, people don't care that much about your exclusive games. That's why Sony's expanding on that forefront, because they know that, okay, if we can't get this type of money from our audience, maybe we can get it from somewhere else.
You say that because
like
I'm trying to think of another game, even like within the realm of Wolverine, something that that shares any similarity with Wolverine.
Spider-Man.
That's doing those numbers. You're saying Spider-Man is 50 million? Well, I think Spider-Man's at 50 million.
Well, that's collective, though. That's collective.
Games combined, right? Like Spider-Man 1.
And that's also including PS4, PS5, and then also including the PC versions as well. So that is not a good argument.
Doing Miles Morales. I'm assuming Capcom lawyers saying Wolverine should be doing 30 or 40 million like lifetime by itself.
No, he's saying that you need to buy your PlayStation exclusives.
I mean, I kind of agree in the sense that I think it deserves that.
Oh, no, it won't sell that.
You know, like, I think Wolverine is going to be probably the best game Insomniac ever makes. That's my feeling on it. Well, actually, I do think, I will say what I've said numerous times, and I will continue to repeat it as long as I believe it to be true. And that is, boss, get down! Get down right now! There are many people, unfortunately, some of them more relevant than others in this space, some of them completely irrelevant, some of them more relevant than they should be. But, you know, there's a spectrum there, certainly. There's a spectrum, Ari. And there's like basically two types of people.
Here we go. Let's hear
There's those that will just simply tell you, like, yes, we want to continue to console war.
Bro, that's what you be doing, bro. So I guess that's you. Look at his cat looked at him like, ain't that you?
And then, you know, there's not many people like that left, by the way. There's not many people that will talk about it that way because it's like, well, are you stupid? You know what I mean? It's like, you know what I mean?
His cat looking at it.
It's like the only
guilty
answer
as
to that question
charged.
is at this point, yes. Yes, I am.
What?
And so what
you're a fanboy.
Most people are doing, the other type of person, is we're just going to try to pretend that we aren't, like that we don't like the console war or that the console war is over, but then just keep doing things. And, you know, it's unfortunate because it's gotten so bad, guys. It's gotten so bad that you can't even make jokes anymore. And that's what sucks. Like, when I say that these people have ruined this space, I mean...
What do you mean ruined it? These people haven't ruined anything for me. I'm still playing on my PS5. I'm still playing on my Xbox Series. I still play it on my Nintendo Switch. I just don't want the Switch 2. I'm just looking forward to what's going on with the new Xbox, considering that they're going to give us all this freedom. But besides that, they're not ruining my fun. You'll be a fool to think that whatever these people saying on the internet in regards to my favorite platform or whatever console that I'm playing on is impacting my enjoyment. Oh, because he said Airbox is dead, therefore I ain't gonna buy it. Oh, they say because the PS5 Pro ain't got no upgrade that I'm gonna stop utilizing it. Bro, like you said, it seems like you're the one complaining.
I've watched it erode, man. Where it's like you try to make just a little joke on Twitter or something, or you just put something out there where it's like, check this out. Here's this, here's a piece of factual data. And
but hold on. But there's nothing factual because it's leaks. So you don't like when people call you out for your fanboy antics, and you guys want to masquerade and use it in a way to make it seem like it's legitimate. If it's a joke, then that's what it be. But you guys don't be joking. You be saying Xbox is dead. Here's this. I mean, you did it you did it yesterday on Twitter. What are you talking about? With the RAM shortages, acting as if PlayStation 5 and all these other devices ain't going to be impacted by the same thing. That is console warring. It's when you're completely oblivious to everything else that's around it. But yet you want to make it seem as if it's an Xbox problem when it's really a problem for the whole industry. That's all I'm saying. You can't call somebody a fanboy for addressing everything. You get what I'm saying with the RAM shortages and stuff? You went as far to say, oh, I guess Xbox ain't gonna be able to stock them. They clearly missed it. They missed the RAM shortages and stuff. Xbox is dead. This is what you be saying. And then when people tell you like-minded people say, well, MBG, this is happening within gaming for everybody, as well as phones and, devices for your car. And, as well as game consoles, everything is going up. For all consoles, you guys take that narrative and make it about Xbox. Do you get what I'm saying? That's why people call you a fanboy. So when you sit there and say, oh, you can't even joke anymore. So you're telling us that all this stuff that you're doing is just jokes and nothing is legitimate. Thank you for answering.
It makes people, it's like, you're console war and you're stop console war. It's like, okay, like, have you been seeing... have you been seeing what's going on? All right, look, man, if you think I'm the one still out here going crazy with the console wars, I don't know what to tell you. I don't know what to tell you,
Look at that. His head went up like this. You console war. Look at that. Look at his cat. Look at his cat.
Going crazy with the console wars.
Look at his cat.
I don't know what to tell you. I don't know what to tell you, I can feel a ball staring at me.
Yeah, because your cat's saying that you lying. Hey, yo, man, I love this cat, man. This cat looking up like, bro, you lying to these people. Bro, your cat know you more than anybody, man. That's why I don't even hear what he's saying. I just be looking at his cat just to see the reaction. And I'm going to tell you, man, every time this man talk, this cat reacts to it like, what you talking about? Put some more food in my bowl. What you blabbering about?
Formerly Capcom lawyers saying, what would the hit be on PlayStation?
His cat know he a liar.
So, okay, you're asking, like...
Look at that.
What would be the game that would... Essentially what you're asking Capcom lawyers, like, what game would replace Call of Duty?
Nothing.
Financially speaking, for Sony. If they, lost. Nothing. If they didn't have Call of Duty yearly.
You guys can't even compete with Gears of War. You guys better be lucky if Marathon can even outbeat Campaign Evolved with Halo. That's what I'm saying. This is where it's dangerous, man. Because you got Microsoft pumping out remakes to a game from 25 years ago. And if that game does better than Marathon, then it's done. It is done. And I think Microsoft's doing it on purpose. But I will say one thing. This whole Microsoft money train that they're going for as an Xbox consumer, I don't think I'm benefiting. I know you're going to have a bunch of Xbox dudes saying, they're pumping out games. Nobody's discrediting that. I gotta say these things, guys, because it's true. And if you're against what I'm saying, and you're an Xbox fan, then you clearly don't know what Xbox is about. You just don't. So please shut your mouth. But at the end of the day, you dropping out these Gears Reloaded, these Halo Campaign Evolves, like I said, it's made through Game Pass, whatever. Okay, but it does nothing for me, though. 25 years and the only thing you're going to throw in my face is a Campaign Evolved. all because you want to milk ponies. So I guess for a quote-unquote console war, it sounds good, right? They're going to make money. It's going to completely outbeat Marathon in sales, more than likely, with a campaign with no multiplayer, and Campaign Evolve is going to do better than Marathon. Okay? So it's good that's good for console war, but when it comes down to the gamer's perspective, that ain't good. Halo Master Chief Collection is like $10 right now. You can play all these games with the multiplayer. What are you people waiting for? Like, I don't know, man. I don't know. Maybe I just see things differently, but that's just my whole sentiments. And I feel like with Microsoft doing that, I guess for quote-unquote console war topics, it sounds good. But in regards to the Xbox consumer, it don't sound very well to me, especially if you've been playing on Xbox for quite some time. Them throwing out Gears of War Reloaded for Xbox and pushing it through Game Pass after the game being very practically identical to Ultimate Edition is a slap in the face to Xbox gamers, especially the ones waiting for Gears E-Day. And you Xbox gamers know it. Oh, I don't, Gamester, he's a fanboy. He never talk bad about I do. Even in these videos, I talk bad about Xbox. You guys just look at the title of the video, look at the fanboys that I'm addressing, and then assume that I don't even bring up Xbox or talk poorly about them. Everyone knows, if you watch these whole videos, that I talk poorly about Xbox as well. And I'm doing it right now.
Well, that's what's interesting about watching Call of Duty struggle, right? Is that, like...
It's struggling?
People need to understand that Microsoft and Sony now have a symbiotic...
I don't think it's struggling. I think it's not dominating in regions as it's once dominated before. The game is still doing well, guys. You know what I mean? Oh, but it's not that many on Steam. Is just one place of where people play games. The game is still the most played game on Xbox. I think I looked. It's like third, fourth place, whatever. It fluctuates. That's still good. And on PlayStation, I could probably check to see if what's popping on there. But they used to have a most played option, but they took that out.
Relationship. They have a symbiotic relationship, and it's not good for Sony that if Call of Duty does poorly.
It's not.
It's worse for Microsoft if Call of Duty does poorly, but it definitely, I mean, again, look at how Sony reacted at the prospect of losing Call of Duty.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Because you know why? Because like I've said before, it's not about the hardware sales. It's about the subscription. I've been saying this for the longest time. It's about the live service and subscriptions. That's where the money's coming from. And if Call of Duty, you got to remember, if Call of Duty got removed out of PlayStation, that would be one less member playing through PlayStation Plus. That's why Sony was worried, because the vast majority of their gamers that play Call of Duty online pay for PlayStation Plus. And if you remove that game completely from PlayStation ecosystem, well, guess what? Most people would either go somewhere else or they wouldn't subscribe to PlayStation. You guys know that. So therefore, what they're complaining about is the subscription service. And Microsoft's going to seal the deal with the new Xbox, and that's where it's going to get dangerous for PlayStation going forward.
It would... Oh, you're saying no, what would the hit be on their financials? Oh, it would be massive. It would be huge.
I don't think Sony could do it.
For example, if Sony's numbers this holiday...
You got a better chance of a Nintendo game doing better than a PlayStation multiplayer game. I mean, Xbox and Nintendo dominate within their multiplayer console spaces. PlayStation doesn't. They're the only company that has to rely on AA and AAA single-player narrative games that drop every 5, 6, 7 years. It's crazy. Intergalactic, y'all still waiting for that game? 7 years, bro. 7 years. I told you it was going to be cross-gen. That's when the PS6 is supposed to be coming out. Bruh, 7 years, bro. PS5. And you got to wait till 2027, bro. 7 years to wait for one game is crazy, bro. That would be the end of the PS2 generation. We'll be already talking about the 360 by this point. This is why gaming people, this is why old heads like me, I'm done. Why wait? I'll play it, you know what I'm saying, get it on the deal, whatever discount. But I'm not investing my life and my time into that. 7 years, and then potentially the game is trash as well? Oh, no. Oh, no. This is why gaming sucks now. Think about what I'm saying. PS5 came out in 2020. Intergalactic, more likely 2027, bro. I mean, you got third party that's going to help lead the way. If GTA 6 come out at the right time, then yes, that will obviously keep you guys entertained. But come on, man. 7 years for one game? Wow. Just for it to be cross-gen on the PlayStation 6, it makes you wonder, why didn't I just buy the PS6? Why? I should have just skipped the PS5 generation and just waited. That's how this generation feels. I should have just stuck with my old Xbox and played that until they finally put out the Gears E-Day. But the problem is, it's probably better that you bought it now because they're going to raise the price. So I guess I don't like this. This is why people complain about the direction of gaming. I know it doesn't really matter to the old heads. I'm still part of these prehistoric gamers and dinosaurs, but still, man, I'm tired of this.
Like, if next quarter Sony's numbers are slightly down, you could make the argument that maybe Battlefield made up for that. And that's maybe like kind of that is the silver lining where for Sony, Battlefield might be that game. Like, if you ask, like, if Call of Duty sells half as much this year, in isolation, that's not good. That's not good for Sony, and that's not good for Microsoft, certainly. But then if it's like, okay, well, the reason why it sold half as much is because Battlefield 6 came in and made up for it and then some.
Well, I think what it is that a lot of the old Call of Duty fans that just got tired of the franchise just decided to say, you know what, Battlefield is for the old Call of Duty fan and Call of Duty is for the new age gamer. I'm sorry, that's how I see it now. Battlefield now probably has a potential way to be within gaming like before, because Battlefield, it seems like a lot of old Call of Duty heads are just going back to that whole old school, even though it's different, of course, but going to Battlefield as an alternative now. You know what I'm saying? So obviously I think sometimes the community, and also too, let's not forget, guys, a lot of people that buy Battlefield also buy Call of Duty. So if you're playing Battlefield, obviously that's going to be less users on Call of Duty, and then vice versa. You see what I'm saying? It's just one of those games where people fluctuate between the two. I know a bunch of people that have Battlefield and Call of Duty. You get what I'm saying? So when we see Call of Duty with low numbers, that mostly could be because they're on Battlefield. But then when Battlefield, when no users decide to go on Call of Duty, well, then those users go up. It's that intertwinable game. You know what I'm saying? That's just how I see it.
For Sony, that would be good.
But like I said, man, hope you guys enjoy this video. These PlayStation fans, they don't know what they be talking about, man. I was happy that Boss stood his head up like this. Why are you lying to the people? Why are you lying? But if anything, MBG, you engage in the fanboy antics, okay? No longer than yesterday, you was out here posting, talking about, looking like the Xbox might not be in stock because of those RAM shortages, knowing that they're raising up the price, not considering that you guys took an article based off everything going raised up in price and made it about one device. That's fanboy. Oh, we was joking. We just misled people. That's what y'all doing. It's not about joking. It's about you purposely misleading people. I joke with people all the time, but you don't see me purposely misleading people on certain things that I'm addressing or talking about, or what you guys post on Twitter. You guys talk about, you carry yourself with integrity, but yet you want to make up jokes and mislead people, claiming that this is happening. Xbox is not producing no more hardware. Xbox is the only console increasing the price when it's everything. That's it. You see what I'm saying? But hey, man, hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. Like I said, take care. Peace out.